Have you ever wondered what makes bodies tick? Are you creating the sexual reality you desire and require? Would you like to know more about what else is possible with bodies? What if your fantasies are not as strange as you thought they were? What if you could learn to be kinder to your body and kinder to others' bodies? Would you like to create confidence in the bedroom and beyond? How has your sex life or lack of it affected other areas of your life? Have you lost your mojo and wondered where to find it? Everyone has the potency to be a sexual superhero. Get ready to listen, sense, and play with the sexualness that is you. Now, here is the host of The Pleasure Zone, Body Whisperer, Milica Jelenic.
Welcome to the Pleasure Zone, you crazy, beautiful people. Thank you for listening tonight. I know where I am right now in the world, in Canada, in Ontario. We've been having basically a freezing rainstorm all day long, so I was really happy that I could come on live because I felt inspired this week. My friendly muse gave me an inspiration for a show, so I really was like, I want to talk about this now. So I'm glad to have a show to talk about. For those of you who are brand new to this show, welcome. The Pleasure Zone is a show where we talk about all things pleasure related. So, most of them for me are things we experience in our bodies, as our bodies are what experiences pleasure on this planet. You, the being, will receive in different ways, although pleasure is more of a physical sensation that you have. So for me, pleasure and bodies are hand in hand, along with all things that are body related. So sometimes we'll talk about things that where we may have a lack of pleasure, but most of the time it's like, how and what can we do and choose to allow ourselves to actually receive more ease in our bodies and more pleasure, and how to have just way more fun with having a body. So what actually qualifies me to know squat about that? Now that's the question. So one of the things is, I don't know, I have a body. So do you. We're all qualified. I just happen to really enjoy talking about bodies, and I do work with bodies. So what does that mean is that I actually work with bodies, and I do some somatic body work called the mitzvah technique. Very little, not very well known body work. There are something like 12 of us as practitioners in the world, practitioner teachers. So we're a rarity, which can be great, and also a lot of fun. The work is very gentle, and what it does is it works your body from the skeletal system out to release tension, pain, and stress. Now, how does a person do that without getting in there surgically? A lot of it's movement is what I do. I move your body in ways where I find the tension and stress, and then I kind of have a little chit-chat with your body and ask it to start to change. So one of the things that I love doing is having conversations with bodies to give them more ease. And whether that's an out loud conversation or an energetic conversation, either way it works. So I have a lot of fun with that. Facilitate classes with that, whether it's stretch classes or facilitating people how to learn how to do the mitzvah technique. Although there are only 12 of us, I am qualified to facilitate that. There is also a lot of other fun work that I do with bodies that is energy work, and a lot of it is under the umbrella of Access Consciousness. So Access Consciousness has something amazing called the bars, and if you aren't aware of the bars from Access Consciousness, there are lots of videos on YouTube about it. It's an energetic system whereby you touch different spots on the head. There are 32 spots on the head, and when you touch them, it's like magic shows up, whether your body starts to just feel way more relaxed or your body completely changes and your life completely changes. You never know. If you're open to showing up, choosing it, and seeing what else is possible on the planet, amazing things can be created with the bars and facilitated with the bars. And like I was saying, Access Consciousness has many different body processes. So I do lots of different energy work with the Access Consciousness body processes. Symphony of Possibilities sessions, and I have been, 2017 will be my anniversary, my 20-year anniversary of publicly working, hanging my shingle out for Reiki. So I'm very excited about coming in my 20-year celebration, and that 20-year celebration is going to bring a lot of different cool things to my website. So for those of you who have not registered for my newsletter, I encourage you to register for my newsletter, because my 20th celebration is actually talking to me a lot and going, hey, let's try this, let's do this, let's have this. Lots of things that would like to gift to everyone. And how fun is that? I just feel like so much fun. So excited to say that I've actually hung my shingle out for 20 years and can put food on my table by having a lot of fun in my life, choosing things that excite me, to be able to expand other people's lives. And you know what? I'm not the only one that can have fun expanding people's lives, doing body work or energy work or doing energetic clearings with people. I'm not the only one. If that sounds like fun to you and you are like really juiced up by the thought of, holy crap, you could actually create a sustainable living doing energy and body work for over 20 years, and you're like, how did she do it? And you'd like to know more, or you'd like to take a class, please again go to my website, MilicaJelenic.com. You can send me a message, sign up for my newsletter, write me a letter if you like, send me an email, friend me on Facebook and send me a note and ask, hey, what did you do and how did you get started? And hey, would you like to facilitate a class for me? And you know what? I would. I love facilitating classes, and I'm pretty much willing to go anywhere. We can always work out something that will work for any and every one of you. So merry time of year, and I'm just like super excited to celebrate so many things, and especially, coming soon into a new year is so exciting for me. Also, like, just about to celebrate my first year anniversary with my lover husband. Our anniversary is the 29th. I'm glad he remembered that it's the 29th and not the 28th. My whole family happened to get married pretty much within this week, from the 26th to like the 31st of December on one side of my family. Like all my aunt and uncle, my grandparents, my cousins all got married in this week. So sometimes I forget what day I was married on because everybody's anniversary is at the same time. But now I'll remember December 29th is my anniversary. It's only year one and I'm already forgetting. But thank God the husband lover remembers. So I'm very excited to be celebrating that. And so we've been together longer than a year, but and some of you are like, oh, it's only your first year. I'm like, yes, and you know what? If you choose every day to wake up and choose your relationship and destroy and uncreate everything that doesn't work for you, that first year can be a year that actually translates to every year that you're with the person. It can be like waking up to a new person every day, like you have a brand new relationship and you have knocked away all the crap that isn't working for you, and you choose to look at what does work for you and create from there. You can actually have what feels like a honeymoon relationship for ages. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of how to create it, and I'm excited to be creating it. So, yes, that's my news of the hour. And now, what is the topic for tonight? Again, I was saying my friend, she is an awesome inspiration. I have a few friends that inspire most of my shows. She inspires a lot of them. And a few other shout outs to people I know who you guys inspire some shows too. And I know you know who you are. So I usually name your names when it comes onto the show. So thank you for your inspiration. Now, this show is called What to Do When You Miss Your Lover. And some of you might be like, well, this show isn't for me because I don't have a lover and I don't miss my lover. My lover lives with me and I don't miss him. But you know what? The funny thing is you might miss your lover and you don't even know it. First off, who is your number one lover? Is it somebody else or is it you? Well, now that I've blown your mind on that one, what else is possible? So do you actually miss you as a lover? Have you missed your own touch? Do you miss your own smell? Do you miss your own, face and the own touch of your own lips on your skin? Sometimes I just literally sit around and touch my own lip with my finger just because I like to. I like the feeling of my lips. You guys can take that in whatever direction you want to go, because I just saw a lot of you go, oh, she's thinking of pussy lips and not just her face lips. Okay, take it however you like, because you're correct on both accounts. I like the feeling of them, so there you go. And I know a lot of you out there do too, so don't be laughing at me, because I know you're in the same shoes as me. And there's so many things that I totally enjoy the feeling of my body. And the more I've had no point of view about the smell of my body, the look of my body, the touch of my body, all those senses, our senses can create so much judgment. And the less judgment I have about my body, the more I enjoy my body as my own favorite lover, number one. So if you are having a sense of I don't have a lover, start with you. Are you your own favorite lover? And I did a show about that. You can check that out in the archives. And I just can't remember what day I did that on. I think the title actually was, Are You Your Own Favorite Lover? But you can write to me if you'd like to find it, and I can find that for you as well. That's the other option. So, do you actually enjoy you as a lover? And do you miss you as a lover? Now, all the tips that I'm going to give today, they are going to relate to you as your own lover. And they're also going to relate to, if you have one lover or 25 lovers. You might have 25 lovers and there's one that you particularly long for. All of these tips and tools can apply to any one of those situations. It can even apply to situations where your favorite lover maybe passed away, left their body. So lots of reasons why you might miss your lover. Your lover might live in another country. They might live in another city. They might work a lot where you might work a lot. You might actually live in the same home and you just don't see each other much because, your lives are extra busy. You might, if I didn't already mention passed away, there's a lot of things that may come up that would actually create that sense of longing and missing, as if something is lacking in your life, that something's missing out of your life. So, what if nothing is actually missing at all? And there are so many ways that we can actually create connection. Now, one of the things I'm a huge fan of is the saying from Access Consciousness that separation is a lie. So a lot of times when you miss somebody, it could be a few things. Now, one of the things, if somebody dies, a lot of times it's they miss the person's physical embodiment. They miss that person's body being there. And some of the missing too, for if your lover lives in another place and you don't see them very often, it could be that physically missing them. Where are they? As if you've misplaced them somehow. They are like keys that got lost. Where did they go? I can't find them. Though, just like your keys, if you start to go, where are you, keys? Where are you? And you start to actually ask the keys where they are. So far in my life, they've always shown up when I start asking the object that I'm looking for that I felt was missing. So, funny thing is, what if your lover is like that too? Hey, where are you? Hey, can you show me where you are? Hey, where are you? I'd like to see you. I can't find you. Where are you? So if you have a sense of disconnection or that you can't find the person, energetically start asking. So you bring their energy in, and usually by the time you've brought their energy in, or the missing object's energy in, you'll start to notice that you can already sense it. And then when you get the sense of the energy of it, if you start following it, you will find it. So where is that missing $1 million that you had in your bank account? Start asking, because if you start asking, guess what? It's going to start showing up, because it's going to be oh, I'm over here. And you're oh, there you are. I thought I misplaced you $100 million. Now I can find you. Yay! Awesome. So, start with you and you as your lover and start to look at how and where you can start to connect with you and really get that there is no separation. So I have a lot of tips and tools that I'd like to share with you guys. I just wanted to get started with, hey, did you know you are your own lover and maybe you're missing that? And when we come back from this break, I'm going to pass over some more great tips and tools on not missing your lover so much anymore.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer. It's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
This is The Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight the topic is what to do when you miss your lover. So, for some of you who don't have a lover and you missed the first part, just know that you actually are your own first lover. If you really are choosing to be aware of your body. And if you haven't chosen to be your own first lover yet, there is an episode I did on being your own favorite lover. So check that out. Also, I wanted to talk about, sometimes we have these longings for loves in the past. And tonight I brought out something inspired me. I think it was the show. Inspired me to pull out these old albums from when I was younger. And I had, in the albums, pictures of boyfriends, of course. Maybe not of course. I had boyfriends, so I had pictures of them. Not all of them, but some of them. And the very first boy that I had this immense, he wasn't a boy, he was actually an adult, and I was 15 and he was 21. That I had this big man, did I have a crush on that man. So the thing that was with him was that I had this crazy longing for him. And, back in the day, we didn't have, Facebook to chat on. We didn't have texting. I think some people who were really rich had beepers maybe. But, you could call on the phone, and there were no long-distance phone calling plans. So a 10-minute call, long distance, because this boy lived in Winnipeg, Manitoba, a whole other province, long-distance calling, 10-minute call would cost like $10, right? So that didn't happen very often. So maybe like, well, and the whole time I knew him, I think we had like 4 phone conversations, and they cost a fortune. That much I remember. I remember knowing that at one point my mom said to me, it would have been cheaper for you to fly to Winnipeg than to call this guy. And I was like, what? I was not fully aware of the phone bills I was creating. So obviously I kind of toned down on that, but there was this like incredible longing. And so back in the day, what did we do? I would write letters. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because this conversation that I had with my friend the other day was that I had this awareness when talking with her that that's something that we just don't do anymore. We don't actually like express ourselves so much in letters, like handwritten letters to a person. We might do texts, or we might do messages here and there, phone message, whatever. Very rarely do you get a lovely handwritten message from somebody, and not even that you have to give it to them, but part of the exercise in this is that if you are longing for somebody, if you can at least write it out, use your hand, the motion of it will actually start to physically move it out of your body. And I say that because as a somatic body worker, I'm aware that bodies hold energy, memories, and emotion. And if you allow yourself to move it out through writing, the physical act of writing, you can actually get that out of your body, move it out of your system, so you don't feel like you're dwelling in it, so you're not holding back any of your other creations, so that you're actually allowing yourself to fully immerse yourself in enjoying that person's energy, and then allowing yourself to then go and create after that. So I suggest doing it intensely, like be intense with it, because these feelings are intense. So if you can intensely write for say 10 or 20 minutes a day, if you're having this deep longing for somebody, whether it's somebody who's passed away, whether it's somebody you haven't seen in a while and haven't been able to connect with, for various circumstances, be it they live in another country where you can't connect with them, they're working and they never respond, whether, they're married, and whatever the situation is, there are situations which actually create it to be very tricky to get a hold of a person. So please gift yourself the time to be present with what's coming up for you. And if what's coming up for you is a sense of longing that's bringing about sadness, and that energy is actually taking away from your other creations and other things in your life, please intensely be with that energy. Don't try and push it away. Don't try and ignore it and say, well, that's just stupid and wrong and I'm going to just not do this. Like, don't judge yourself for it. Be with it and then express it, because most of the time when you choose to do that, not only are you getting it out of your body, you are shifting an energy that you've been holding on to. So that pen of yours could be like a little magic wand that can actually change some of that stuck energy. You might find that they contact you. Even sometimes being aware that you can do this exercise could actually change the situation, that longing, and so that you can actually allow. I'm saying actually a lot in this show, and that's fun. I'm not sure why. What am I actualizing? Anyhow, so you might find that they will contact you, or whatever it happens to be, right? So please be with that. Be with the longing intensely. Look at yourself, and is there any part of you that you miss, that you're longing for? Write about that. Write to yourself as that lover. So again, like I was saying, all exercises I'm mentioning that you can do towards another person, please do them for you too, because you'll notice that there is something that maybe you've hidden about you. So, dear, me as a lover, what I really miss is your spontaneity and creativity. I miss your love of caramels and salty foods, and I like long for you to like experience that again. Whatever it happens to be, whatever it is, write to your body, and as a lover, because your body is the lover, write to you, the body, as a lover, and just have a conversation with it about what you're actually longing for, what you're missing. Your body can receive this energetically as well. Part of this is to allow you to be aware of it. So asking questions like, am I longing for something? Hey, body. Hey, my body lover. Is there something I'm longing for or missing? And you might start to notice that you just start to automatically write. Like, oh, wow, body, I really miss walking through the snow with great big cozy boots on, hat on, and letting the snowflakes land on my nose. Body, oh, body as my lover. Oh, my body, body, would you like sun and the warmth and, running into the ocean with waves, splashing, like, what excites your body that gets your body like super excited to go, yes, I'm here, I'm your lover. I know, I missed you. Where have you been? You've been ignoring me. And your body's like been like so like trying to like write this letter to you to get you to notice it too. So these other lovers of yours, even if they're not writing to you, they might pick up the energy, because guess what? We are all energy. We all give off frequencies, so we can perceive all of this. And I know for some people it's like, no, I really physically have to feel them. I get that. And the more you become aware that you are aware, and the more aware you are energetically that you are connected to everything and everyone, the less missing of anything you'll have. So these are really tips and tools that can create more ease and fun for you, and they will actually allow you to start to get that you are connected to everything, that your body is your primary lover and everybody else is secondary or tertiary or quadrutiary or quintitiary. I'm making those words up, but I like them. So yes, and then there's fiduciary, but that has to do with law, and we're not going there because this is all legal, everything we're doing. Quadrutiary is one of my favorite words. I'm going to be using it. It's probably not real. It is now that I invented it. So that's when something is in the fourth stage of something or other, and there we go. So the writing of the letter to you, to the lover, to whatever is great. So now here's another one that can be here's the word again. It's actually really practical. And my friend Danielle, who has the Right Body for You show, had told me about an app that she's aware of that has this system put into it where there are two aspects of it. So there's an app on your phone, and then there's like a vibrator that goes to one lover, and then the app goes to the other lover, so that even if you're living long distance, you can still stimulate your lover from like across the globe. So that is an option that can work when you have a lover that you don't see often. If they're willing to play in crazy and mysterious ways, what if you can get that app? It's just something to hold you over until the next time. It's kind of like a little appetizer until you actually see them again. So just another way to connect. Now, one of the things to get is that, like I had said earlier, is that we connect energetically, we connect physically, emotionally, we connect on all these levels. And if you make one of those more important than any other ones, then you're actually negating your capacities with connecting energetically or physically. So if you make energetic connection the only way to connect with people, then you're negating the physical connection that you can have with people or the emotional connection. So they're all equally part of creating a relationship that can be sustainable, expansive, and fun. So now just bear that in mind, that one does not have a heavier weight than the other. They're all equally important in the creation of a relationship. So the app can be a great appetizer. That's what apps really should be, is like appetizers. They just kind of whet you. They don't like sustain your life. They're not really applications, appetizers. Okay, so we're going to give you some more tips and tools when we come back from this break.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What if you really do change molecules by your interaction with them? What if the change you've been looking for is right before your eyes? What if the uncomfortableness that comes with difference could be fun? What if the closed-minded people of the world no longer determined our world? What if gratitude trumps judgment every time? What if your kindness healed the world? What if the earth is asking for your help? And what if you had the resources to give it? This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Picasso, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Aristotle all knew to be true. Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. What if there are no dumb questions? Or any question too large? What if you being you are the gift and the change this world requires? Is now the time? For more questions to create a change in your world, sign up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. My gift to you, beingyouclass.com.
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK. Or Canada, 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight our topic is what to do when you miss your lover. So, one of the things, and I mentioned that I'm going to give you some tips and tools, because one of the things that can come up is ask yourself, truth, am I missing the person or are they missing me? You might actually be one of those people who doesn't really miss people, more so you're aware there is no separation, but you're also aware of the energy of missing. So are you truly missing the person or are they missing you? What else is possible? If they are missing you, the beauty is you can give to them quickly. Now, if you're picking up their energy and you get this huge longing missing and it's not actually yours. Wow! Because guess what? We are little sponge bobettes. We pick up things from everywhere and anything in the entire universe. That's what we do. We're adorable. And, okay, cool. So you get that longing? Cool. So now what you can do with it is a few things. So you could either return to sender with consciousness attached. Don't really have to do that. You're aware that there's a longing. You could do that. Don't have to. What else could you do? You could flow energy to them. You could give them a call. How much of a fun and awesome surprise and loveliness would it be to send them a note, send them a text, give them a call, send them a picture of your beautiful ass, whatever makes you happy. It could be a cleavage shot. It could be a shot of your toes. Depends on what they're into. You know, just send them something that would go, wow, they were thinking of me too. Awesome. And, you know, that I've suggested to you guys before on this show on several episodes that all pictures taken on your cell phone are actually findable. Actually, again, what is up with this word? I got to find out what's going on with me. And actually, they are findable by the police or anybody. They are traceable. So being aware of it. So I'm getting comments in the back room. Again, yeah, just letting everybody know. So, whatever, it's your choice. And I only say that because I know there are a lot of teenagers out there that are doing these pictures, and it's actually creating a lot of havoc for them in their lives, creating bullying around schools. So teens, early 20s, you don't want to lose your job over it. If you're the CEO of your own company, do whatever the heck you want because nobody can fire you except for you. So there you go. That's what I have to say about that. And so send a picture, send a whatever. If you're aware that it's not your longing and it is theirs, please do connect with that person in whatever way you feel you can. And if it is really at that time only energetic, flow energy to them. How do I do that, you ask? You literally ask, hey, energy, will you flow to that person from the entire universe through me to them? So when it goes through you to them, it kind of picks your energy up, kind of grabs like your signature, your energy signature, and then when they get it, they're like, oh, it's so-and-so. They might call you when they have time or contact you. So remember, from the universe through you to them, flow that energy. Now, if that longing truly is yours and it's not somebody else's, what can you do about that? So that intensely experiencing it for like 10 minutes is one way to allow you to truly be present with your feelings and be you and just work with that, and then be able to get on with the rest of your day. So that is something you can definitely start to choose. Now, you can also expand your energy out, and I've had several episodes on that. One of them was about 2 years ago called Gift for You, I think I called it, and it's a huge exercise in expanding you. It was almost the whole show, so you could listen to that if you like. And another episode I did, one of my very first episodes I did with my friend Max from Seattle, who has a fantastic capacity for doing like long distance touch. We did a long distance touching show in 2014. So you can look that title up as well, and it's a brilliant one for when you miss somebody and you'd like to actually feel them or touch them from a distance. Now, it is something that, if you've never experienced before, possibly a little practice can be of assistance. If you are energetically aware, it's a great episode on how to do that. Essentially, it's like literally reaching out to them. You can pull their energy to you and then literally start to have a sense of them and touch them energetically. People can sense it in their physical body when you do that. So just be aware of that. If it is somebody that you're trying to do that with and they're really not inviting you in there, it could just piss them off. And if you're cool with pissing people off, do whatever you like. If you're really trying not to piss people off, use your awareness and only pull their energy and experience them as like a long distance lover when it works for you. So if that sounds like a fun thing to play with, go with it. So bring their energy into your presence, and you being aware of them will start to bring their energy into your presence. Then pull like the mofo you truly be, like the turbine of turbines, like the tornado of love that you truly be, and pull their energy to you, and then allow their presence and their energy and their life force is like there, and it's like woohoo, and then feel that up, baby, feel it up, little darling, feel it up. Oh, I want to give a shout out to George Michael for dying the other day, and his songs were in my head for like 2 days before that, so go figure. George Michael, he reminds me of grade 8. Love that man. And I won't sing his songs right now because try and keep the memories of him sweet. So this is a whole episode of me singing. No, everybody would run away. That would be scary. So how is it that you can actually have a long distance relationship work? Everybody's different. My brother, for example, hardly ever in his 12 years of being married is hardly ever at home. He's not somebody who has extramarital affairs, neither is his wife. And how do they sustain it? Their relationship, the foundation of their relationship is based on a belief that they share. So their belief is a religious belief that they share, and their relationship is based on that, and the foundation of their relationship is that. So their strength and their beliefs is actually what keeps them going. And Skype, I think it's, for them, God and Skype is what works for them. And they Skype often, and they don't make sex significant. So if you can, the things sometimes that you're making ultra significant can also be the things that bring you down the most. So, for example, if my brother and his wife made sex really significant and my brother's gone for months and months at a time doing his work, that could destroy their relationship. But because they don't make it significant, and what they do make significant is their foundational belief system, that belief system is what they can have from a long distance or via Skype. So certain relationships, if your relationship is only physical and it's all based on sex, then long distance, is that going to work for you? Well, if you get that app for your phone and that little vibrator thing, then yes, you could have all kinds of fun. And I'm also aware that there is virtual reality systems that are being created for people to have multiple, you can have multiple people interfacing with you on these virtual reality systems. I know that because I went to, about half a year ago, I had a conversation with a sex toy developer because I had an idea for a sex toy, and I think I mentioned it on the show once. And he was telling me, your idea is something that's already in the works, but they're actually, there's the word again, already creating things that are far beyond that, virtual reality systems that are, you can have multiple people, and everybody's connecting in these different ways with sensors on their body so that you can literally receive stimulation from multiple lovers at the same time, all in a totally safe sex environment. Because guess what? You're not physically touching each other, so there's no exchange of bodily fluids. So there's no STDs that can be passed on. Only way that you could pass on STDs with that is if you're sharing the stimulators and not cleaning them, and that would be your own choice and whatever. So, so lots of things are being put in place so that people who are having long distance relationships, whether they are solely sexual or require the sex element, so that people can have their relationships be sustained, there are things being put in place for that. So how does it get any better than that? Again, if your relationship is not based on physical interaction, then you have other options, right? So also look at what is the basis of your relationship. What are the fundamental things? What are your key ingredients? Because not everybody's key ingredients are the same. That's why I mentioned my brother's relationship with his wife. Their relationship is not based on sex, so their relationship by long distance can work. Now, would yours work that way? Maybe, maybe not. What are your key elements of your relationship? So look at that. For some people, it's sex, money, great food. For some people, it's like sex, money, and laughter. For some people, it's sex, money, and allowance. What are they for you? They are not the same for everybody, and they don't have to be the same for everybody. Just know what they are for you. So I would really encourage you to look at that, because that is something to really be aware of. What are your key elements of your relationship that you require, and can that somehow work long distance, for example, if you are missing a person? Now, can that work if the person has passed away? That's a whole other category of interesting conversation, and that is an energetic conversation if you're willing to be exploring energetic tools so that you can be aware of their energy. If they've left their body, then you can still have their energy be present in your life if they haven't gone on and off to other things. So that's a more complicated conversation maybe. So for now, we're going to head off to break, and when we come back, more tips and tools here on the Pleasure Zone.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bar session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight our conversation has been what to do when you miss your lover. So I'm so glad that you guys have joined me in and listening to this now and in the future. I love picking up the energy of people and their thoughts and what's going on in their heads. A lot of fun, so I appreciate that. So one of the things, that you might be longing for too is a lover that even if you live with them, they might not be available, right? So I kind of brought that up earlier. So, that is where, you living with a person, you can definitely have a conversation with them. So are you willing to be totally vulnerable and bring your barriers down? Is that something that you're willing to do? Are you willing to be vulnerable enough to say what's going on for you? Can you say, it's weird because, we live together, but I have this sense of I feel like I miss you. Bring it up. See where the conversation goes. Use your words. I'm thinking what would my conversation be? It would be something like, even though I see you every day, I feel like there's something missing. Maybe I'm missing you. Are you missing me? What's going on? And it could be the body. Does your body desire more touch? Maybe your body's longing to be touched by their body. So, please, conversations are a really great way to go. Like I was saying earlier, energetic conversations, if they're not available, and verbal conversations, if they are available. Write that stuff down in a note, because sometimes just physically moving to get it out of your body will actually change things. That's the beauty of the body and movement, is that when you do move it, you can change a lot of stuff. Even if it's just moving that pen with your hand, you can change a lot of stuff. So what else can you do? What else can you do? So here's some other tips. Is if you're really missing your partner and you're horny, masturbate. I know, it's a novel concept. Go masturbate. Include their energy. How do you include their energy? Well, you can think about them, fantasize about them, or you can just ask their energy to show up, right? Hey, their energy can just show up. So allow that allow that to show up for you, especially when you're feeling like, I feel alone, and I feel, it's just like, okay, masturbation isn't fun. It's way more fun with more people. It's like way less fun when I'm missing the person. Bring the people in. Would you like more than one person in the room with you? Are you longing for more than one person? Because you can include many people. If you're a person with multiple lovers, or if you're a person who would like to have multiple lovers, bring the energy of all of them in. How much more fun can you have? So please, bring them in. And, if you are somebody who does have multiple lovers, but you happen to be missing one of your lovers, well, by all means, include, I know this sounds wackadoodle, but by all means, bring their energy in the next time you have sex with somebody else. If you include them. I know it sounds like, why would you do that? They're going to find whatever. Include their energy, because your longing will actually create more of a wonkiness than you including everybody and everything in the entire universe into your play. So if you are missing people, include them in your day, in your life, in your writings, in your musings. Include them, because your longing is just you lying to yourself about separation being real. You lying to yourself that you can't touch people just because they're not in the room. Where did we buy that pile of poo? So you can absolutely touch people when they're not physically in front of you. Just a matter of practice and play. And again, listen to that episode, the long distance touching episode from 2014. That is a great episode. And you'll get a sense that you can, the more you play with it, the more you can sense people, even when they're not physically present, and if, for those of you who sense that I'm around you, you're right, because I can be. So can you be. It's fun. It's just a really fun thing. It's just not a capacity that I only have. Like, all of us can choose it, be it, and do it. Especially if you're listening to this crazy-ass show. Chances are you got some capacities with body, sex, and energy. I want to thank you all for being freaking awesome. I'm very excited for next week's show. I don't know what the topic's going to be, but it's going to be the day I come back from my honeymoon. I don't know what I'm going to tell you guys about. It could just be crazy, guess what I did on my honeymoon? And then there was this involved, and then there was a monkey. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm going to tell you guys, but I know it's going to be fun. So very happy to have you guys on next week as well. And tune in and join me on Facebook on the Pleasure Zone. Please like the Pleasure Zone radio show on Facebook. Friend me on Facebook, and I will invite you to like the Pleasure Zone on Facebook so you can keep track of my musings, my shows that are upcoming. And again, check out my website at www.milicajelenic.com for upcoming online classes, in-city classes, at-home classes, wherever classes, sessions, and all kinds of fun. Thank you guys so much, and have a great new year.
Thank you for choosing to listen to The Pleasure Zone. Milica Jelenic will return next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on a2zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, Have the best week of your life by choosing to be turned on and tuned in to your body.